Morning, everybody. Welcome those of you that are new. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please check out my playlists and older videos. I'm starting to put end screens up. See, I'm learning YouTube. You can see my progression. Not that I'm good at this, but you can see how far I've come from my early videos. Like, I have a microphone now, and it's almost professional. We're getting there. But an important topic I wanted to discuss today about narcissism that most people encounter with narcissists, whether you're the target of the narcissist or not. This is something narcissists tend to do to anybody that they perceive as a threat in any way. And it's why narcissists struggle to celebrate others. In other words, why is it so hard for a narcissist to give praise, compliments, adulation, anything of that nature to someone? Well, in short, it's because it gets right to their superiority complex. Because if a narcissist is giving somebody else praise for something they've done, then that's almost like the narcissist admitting, well, they're better at me than that. And remember, in a narcissist's mind, they're God's gift to everything they touch, whether they know anything about it or not. Like, a narcissist will sit there and tell you how a certain system works, never having been a part of it. Like, for example, when I got hired in late 2019 as a professional firefighter, and it was my second time getting hired, I was quite familiar with the hiring system. I'd been through hiring processes in other departments and obviously, knew the system and how the fire department worked. My aunt, who has never been a firefighter, has never known a paid firefighter, has only had interactions with volunteer firefighters, and that was decades ago, so even that information, isn't up to date for that world, was lecturing me on how a paid fire department works, and even its jurisdiction, that it is a township and not a county, because Pennsylvania works on a township system and Virginia works on a county system for emergency services. And I explained that the way Virginia works is the gold standard. That is how the vast majority of states work. The number of states that don't work like that, I don't know the exact number, but it is a single digit number, like my body count. But for a narcissist, it's extremely difficult in those situations when somebody else is getting, praise or respect for something that they've done of their own merit. And that in itself really bothers the narcissist, because in their minds, their praise, respect, all that, they're entitled to it because they say so. Like, they don't have to do anything to earn it. It's just manifest destiny. I'm me. Like, what do you mean? So to see somebody else actually go out and, and earn it through work and merit, they see that as a threat, because it's like, oh, like, I beat my chest and say this, and people are supposed to fall in line. But if this person has the drive and determination to, earn this praise through legitimate means, then they can certainly outshine me, because their merit, their ability to do the thing that they're getting the praise for is based on, actual work. There's an actual measure as to how they got there, and they have the determination to do it. Whereas the narcissist, it's all based on bravado or inherited wealth in a lot of cases too. Silver spoon narcissist. Yeah, I've met a lot of them, especially in college. So, for one of the major points of this is an inability to congratulate others on a job well done. Well, again, a narcissist thinks that, anything someone else did, they can do better. So that goes right to their inability to congratulate somebody on doing a good job, because deep down, the narcissist may know that they couldn't do that same job as proficiently. Like, it really bothered my golden child prince cousin when I got hired as a firefighter, because, oh, you can't do that. They pick who they want before, those jobs get posted, because that's how all government jobs work in Chester County, because it's a corrupt good old boys club that they defend. But, there's a set process that one has to go through. It's about 10 steps, and it takes about 8 months. And, you start with 1,200 people usually, and about 2 dozen get hired, and I was one of them. Actually, the first on the list, so I had the lowest badge number, and that really burned him. But they tell you in the narcissist mind, it's like, no, no, no. Not only, you can't even like attempt to get that, like you're not worthy of even trying. So then if you don't listen to the narcissist, because when they're telling you you're not worthy of even trying, they know it's something that you have a realistic chance of achieving and they don't, or it's something that perhaps they wanted to do in the past, but they didn't, because to do it, in the case of my cousin, it would have required him to leave his comfort zone. Like my cousin gets away with a lot of stuff based on his circle of enablers, mainly his mother, the Good Old Boys Club. But if you were to leave Chester County, where the paid fire jobs don't exist, and go elsewhere, he doesn't have that network. So, all his entitlement and how he's able to enforce that entitlement is via that narcissistic network that enables him. And if he removes himself from that network to go somewhere to achieve something he can't get in this area, he doesn't have that network to rely on. So the narcissist will never do that. They won't attempt things that they want if they actually have to do it on their own merit. And more so, that's why people like me, they see as a particular threat lone wolf types, because we'll go anywhere. It's like, network, I don't have a network. Like it's just me, raw determination, baby. So the idea of like moving somewhere else for a job that I want, it's I'm on my own whether I'm here or there. In fact, I'm better off there because I don't have a narcissistic, corrupt old boys network actively trying to keep me down. Yeah, see, you get it? So, but in the end, the narcissist doesn't want you achieving that because it's something they know they can never do. Another major point is a narcissist will show a consistent redirection of oneself when the narcissist is not the center of attention. This can also include excluding, alienating, or orchestrating the victim by bullying them in social circles. So, what that basically means is, in these situations where you're getting praise, they will try to bully you, put you down, and quickly turn the opinion of those that are giving you praise, because they can't stand you, especially like, the black sheep, the scapegoat, the lone wolf, now in the spotlight for something that you've done of your own merit, not something that was handed to you, and no one can deny that, because the narcissist, most of what they have in a lot of cases is handed to them on a silver platter, or perhaps, that right place, right time. So that is another, thing that drives them nuts, because how you got it, they can't deny. They can't, say that you don't deserve it, because like in the case of my thing, I went through a civil service hiring process with 1,200 other people. I made it through and had, one of the best scores, and thus got hired. Everybody had the same shot. Your academic abilities tested, your physical fitness, your psychological fitness, your health, your ability in an interview, your polygraph results. It's measurable results, and everybody went through the exact same test. There was no like, well, this person, so you're hired. What? I don't care if you don't have a license or 3 DUIs. You're Billy Bob's nephew. You can be that truck driver. Yeah. I don't care that you were a truck driver for 8 years. That was in Jersey. That doesn't count here. I've changed the names, but I've literally seen that situation play out. So, the third big thing in this situation is contempt. The narcissist will have contempt for you, that not only that you're getting praise, but you got what you wanted. You're going to be where you want to be, because if you're a scapegoat, if you're a black sheep, you're supposed to be at the beck and call of the narcissist. You're supposed to be there to be kept down, to be abused, for them to get their narcissistic supply. In this case, for them to, beat their chest and their superiority complex about how much better, they are than you, and that you should be grateful for whatever scraps they cast you. Like, the Good Old Boys Clubs denotes that you are to be a landscaper. Now go be a landscaper and be happy and be praised, and praise us, kind of thing, right? So yes, contempt that you overcame the life you were assigned by the almighty narcissistic circle, and that you're not only getting what you want, but you're leaving and you're going to be beyond their influence, where their narcissistic circle can't reach. Yeah. And the next major point of this is they'll minimize it. They'll minimize any accomplishment you have, anything that you do. They'll make it seem like it means nothing. Like if you get a prestigious scholarship in college for an internship or something, they'll minimize it and make it sound like everybody gets it, when it's literally like one person in each state gets it. But then they'll praise, their golden child for some nothing award that the golden child got in 8th grade, even though that was at the time 15 years ago, and the golden child had since flunked out of college and gone to jail for being a drug dealer. So yes, any way they can twist the narrative, anything you do, they're going to minimize it. They're going to take it away from you. They're going to tell you it doesn't mean anything, because the more you gain things through merit that the narcissist says you can't do, or that you can't even attempt, that's going to give you more confidence. That's exposing just how wrong the narcissist is. That's breaking that conditioning that they've put on you, that you're worthless, you can't do anything right, and the best you can ever hope for is to listen to everything they say and do what you're told. But the more you defy that and prove them wrong, the more it clicks in your head that they've been manipulating you and lying to you your whole life. And you should trust your own intuition. I went through that journey. It wasn't fun. Yeah. And number 5, now this is when you're dumb enough to do what the narcissist tells you. So say, you decide to go along with the narcissist plan. Now they're going to perpetually move the goalpost. I did a video on that. But in short, basically, I was in that situation 6 years ago where I was going, applying for a job in the county, an environmental scientist job. When you do exactly what the narcissist tells you, and you're still not given a fair shot because, an anointed good old boy is handed it on a silver platter, and you dare complain like, well, this is clearly corrupt. And in my case, it was. And, I reported it, and there were repercussions. The supervisor lost his job, and rightfully so. He was also embezzling money. But the narcissist will defend the corrupt system that they've benefited from. So even if you do exactly what the narcissist says, and the narcissist is like, if you do this exactly like I say, you'll get this outcome. And not only do you not get that outcome, but you never had a chance at that outcome because that outcome was already rigged for somebody else, regardless on merit. Like in my case, if 70 qualified applicants apply for a job, but that job has already been reserved for an applicant who isn't qualified because he hasn't finished college yet, but they don't even interview anybody and they just give it to him because somebody in the club made a phone call for him, that kind of thing. Yeah. They'll just move the goalpost and defend that about how it's supposed to be. So that's why I say never please the narcissist, because even when you try to go along with the program, they're just stringing you along. They're just conditioning you to listen to them. And then when you see that, they're lying or out of touch, or that you're in a rigged game to begin with, they'll defend it and move the goalpost every time. So save yourself the headache, because it is quite the headache. So yes, those are the major reasons why a narcissist can't give anyone else praise for things that the other person has legitimately earned through work, through merit, through intelligence, what have you. Because in the narcissist's mind, they're the best at everything. Doesn't matter what it is. They can outdo anybody at anything. This works in dating too. The entitled narcissist, I can have any girl I want. It reminds me of university. The silver spoon narcissist, going around flashing daddy's money about how great he is, and the girl he wants is talking to, the introverted guy in the corner from a middle-class background, and he's puffing his chest about his BMW that daddy bought and the black credit card in his wallet that has daddy's name on it, not his. That'll get to him, because in the end, all the narcissist has is anything materialistic and their bravado to go on. When forced to compete, on merit, person to person, one-on-one, no networks and good old boys clubs and things like that, they normally can't compete. They know that, and that drives them crazy because it messes with their superiority complex. So I hope this was helpful on this topic. I'm sure it's something, if you've dealt with narcissists, you've dealt with a specific situation in a lot of different ways, it's quite common. So remember, Trust your intuition as to why the narcissist is trying to steal your spotlight. And remember, there's no integrity going along with the narcissist plan. They don't want what's best for you. The game usually is rigged, and when you find that out, the narcissist will defend the rigged game and just move the goalposts. Thank you for making it to the end. Please like and subscribe. Check out the older videos in the playlist. They should be suggested in the end screen now, all over here. And yeah, if I've done a good enough job to warrant a tip, even as little as $2, you can hit the super thanks button.